Today we got a bunch of different things to do. It's not all about Tater this time around. Back here we got some Woodstock work to do. Now I know a lot of you watch this channel for the stuff I do with these older trucks. Let me know if you want to see more of Woodstock. We are going to be doing some more sort of video and some trails and stuff. We've been going to go hit on it. I'm fixing a bunch of stuff up just so we're trail ready, and getting rid of some of the stuff the previous owner had on it that I think's no need to have it on it anyway. It's a nice Jeep, it's a newer Jeep, it's not no mall crawler. We're gonna use it and abuse it. I'm just saying that right now. But there are a few things to do with it. I went and bought a high lift jack. You don't know what you need till you need it. And then we also bought a oil catch can for the 3.6 that's in it. Now I know everyone's gonna say, why do you need that? I'm gonna show you why we need it. But most of the newer stuff, the PVC valve is tied into the intake anyway. It sucks oil into your intake, and your intake fills full of oil. It causes a bunch of problems. Alright guys, we're in here in Woodstock. There's the new high lift jack we bought, which is a Badlands. So I'm going to show you what we're doing. I had these left over from my K5 swapped cab truck. Mud buggy basically. I had my high lift mounted on it with these. I forgot I even had these still. But they get right over top with the wing nut to hold it. Of course, we're gonna paint this stuff, and then I built a plate that bolts to these original holes on each side. We're gonna get as high as we can and bolt it as high as we can, so we can still put the fire extinguisher back here, and we got room for everything else. And yes, someone stole the sub out of this before I bought it. Stole it, or the previous owner took it out for something. I can't remember exactly what they told me, but I'm kind of glad it's not there, because now it gives me a chance to build me some kind of like toolbox to fit in that corner. So we'll flat cut this, build me a little toolbox or something right in there, keep all my tools in straps, so we still have all this room. I'm not sure yet, guys. I wasn't big into the old thumpy thump anyway. So anyway, yeah, I'm talking kind of fast. Maybe I should slow down or drink some more coffee, which is too late for coffee, because then I wouldn't sleep and then I'll be up all night. Anyway, now let's get back at it. I'm gonna show you what I built. Now I didn't record building these anyway, but here's what we got. I welded that bolt to the back. Now these will bolt right here, and the jack will go up top there on that stud on each side. I made 2 of them, and when this goes down over top, you got your wing nut. Of course, everything has to be painted, but right now we're going to test fit and see how this works. Alright, I don't know if we need the washers on it, but we're going to try with washers. Paint all this stuff black. I'm not planning on putting any sound bars or nothing in there, if that's what you guys are thinking. Maybe these a little long, so maybe we can attach more stuff to them if we had to. Just want to put them in there finger tight, both sides. Let's see how she works. You guys know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to flip the camera around. You can just hear me breathe heavily. Guys, I was going to buy something for this, but I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I could probably just make something. Alright, guys. I apologize. It's so hard to set this up in this Jeep somehow. I need to get me a better stand. We had to take the one piece off, which that's fine. We can kind of put it in the middle somewhere. That way it's still on there. Let me show you what we got. There's only one issue that I'm having that I probably will not like, but the more stuff you take off of it, the more you have to put back. So like if I leave this off of it and we store it down here, it's just more shit to store. So we're minimizing storage. So we're just gonna attach it. Let me show you. She's in there. We got this piece here. Now I gotta move the isolator all the way up here a little bit, and then we will bolt this piece to the middle. We'll probably like right there, so we're not banging our damn head off of it. And then got this side on. We had to slide the jack up a hair so it wasn't hitting this, but this might drive me nuts. That rat on right there might drive me nuts. Thought about taking it off and storing it, but then there we go again. I think it turned out good. Get right up in here and get it if we need it. I put it in here because I'm just not a real big fan of them hanging off the back, hanging on the side, on the front, on the hood. Like, why would you want your equipment out there getting ruined? I don't know, or maybe I'm wrong. But we're gonna open the other box with the other parts we got. Show you guys the catch can and show you the parts we got for Tater, which kind of what I was waiting on to mock up the doors and stuff. So I know we was exactly where we needed to before I start welding anything in. So that's gonna be a big step there. Once we get the doors ready to hang, we can kind of know where we need to be. Make sure the cab's square and all that stuff. But anyway, we'll get back to it. Now you just get off work. You're like, oh yeah, can't wait to get off work. You come home and yeah, your enjoyment's working. That's what happens when you get older, I guess. I mean, I'd honestly rather work on this stuff than what I work on at work. But anyway, let's get moving. I went ahead and opened the box. All this stuff came in because honestly, that box was a pain in the ass to open. I've never had a box ever, except for that one time I got a Christmas present, which was a box inside of a box and a box inside of a box, box inside of a box. That pissed me off. Plus, the very last box was rolled with a whole roll of duct tape. That pissed me off even more. So I just drank some more liquor eggnog and just went on with my day. Oh wait, I'm rambling on. That's a different story. Anyway, that box was a bitch to open. We got the parts out of that box. I'm going to show you what we got. Parts for the Jeep, parts for Tater, and we got more parts coming. Supposed to be here later today. I don't know. I'm going to turn around, and no, this is not paid promotion or nothing like that. I'd like it to be. Hit me up. It's all out of my pocket. Alright. Ordered some stuff from Summit. This is a J&L OSC oil separator. And it's for the Jeep. Now, I haven't got the thing turned around yet. We're going to blow this back apart, sand and paint all these pieces here before it gets too cold. And then we got Brother's truck, door hinge, pins, and bushings. Now, I've been waiting on these to rebuild the door hinges so we can hang the doors, so we can make sure all of our fitment's right and all that before we start buzzing in everything. But anyway, that's where we're at now. So that's the parts we have now. Brackets are almost dry, and we can get her put in. Now, while we're at it, let's go ahead and open up this oil separator. Get all this other shite out of the way and find my damn Milwaukee. Milwaukee! Yeah, boy. Yeah. I don't know. Does anyone else say that when they open their knife? I tend to say it a lot. Or you want to grab the power tool at work. Milwaukee! Start screaming. Bosses are wondering what the hell's wrong with me. Alright, look at that. Pretty nice. Factory clips. See if they got us some stickers. The mount that screws to the top. Alright guys, got you here. And we're going to put the oil catch can on. Before we do that, so everything's drying, we're going to go ahead and take the air filter, box and intake tube out, and I'm going to show you why it's important to put a catch can on some of these newer model engines, especially an LS and especially a 3.6. Now when I first got this, I did clean it out once. Now, let me get my light. I thought it was bright enough for you to see what was going on. I guess not. Let me grab my old flashing light. Let's see if I can do all this. Now, get this a little closer. Not bad for the bad camera. I'm trying to show you guys. See all the oil in there? Look at that intake. Completely full of oil. Alright. We are going to do away with that. Now, intake tube has it in there too. Not much because I did clean it out once. But, so yeah, if you're on Tater, you can see it down in there too. All down in there. Oh yeah, see it on the intake tube? Rib part. That's oils. Oils. That's some oils, boys and girls. So, I know, sorry for all the flip-flop. Probably half of you don't have a seizure after watching that. But anyway, that's why the catch can is important. Now, this is my first 3.6. I've heard a lot of horror stories about them, and we will be upgrading something else here before too long. I think it's called, yeah, it's Baxter Performance. Now, it does away for cartridge filter, and a whole piece of aluminum threads down into that housing, and then you're actually using regular oil filter, Wix oil filter, and it keeps the top end primed, and it prevents these from dry starting. We will be doing that eventually, because I want this thing to last as long as possible. Ran into a little issue with the K&N air filter, so I mean, I'm a fan but not a fan, if that makes sense, because I went to clean it. I even had the proper cleaner. I don't know how long it's been in here. It just started falling apart. So we're going to do the right thing, put a Wix in it. But anyway, we got to take these two bolts here loose for the reservoir to put this catch can in. Alright, we just got to take that loose. It just sits down on a dowel on the bottom of the rubber. See if you guys can see this. See all the oil in it? Now this runs from the PVC on top of the valve cover to top of the intake. Now we're gonna have a catch can between these 2 points. Back around there and over and hook up. This end here will hook there, and it bolts right over in here. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna start routing this around. Alright. Now we'll open up the bracket it comes with. We'll go ahead and get it mounted. I'm gonna get a little bit of blue Loctite. This will go right here. It's already got a hole for it. It's like they knew he was gonna be doing it. Make sure there ain't nothing in the catch can. Golden. All the mesh stuff's still in it. Alright, now this up here. I don't want this thing falling out going $1.50 down the road, you know what I mean? Even it won't. Do $1.50 anyway. Alright, we'll start that one, get the other one. little mud on that screwdriver. My boy must have drove it into the ground somewhere at one point. Here's the bracket. Here's the stud hole, which I guess you could put it there too, but then it'd be in the way of that ABS module. So this is where we're gonna stick with it. We're gonna hook that hose up. I guess we can go ahead and hook this one up. The end swivel. Negative Ghost Rider. Maybe we should take it under the reservoir. Then, just to be safe, give it a nice clean hookup. Alright, there's that one. I'm gonna follow that one back over, hook it up to the PVC. And I don't think I'm gonna go back through all the damn clips. I think she's gonna stay where she's at. There she goes. Now, we have to pop this clip. Actually, just clip it back in there. Make sure this is down where we need it. Oh yeah, I like that. Well, that's all the J&L oil catch can. All right, well, the rest of our parts came in. We got stuff over here on a cardboard box. Guys, we're just throwing some black paint on it. When it gets warmer, if it starts peeling, we'll do something different. But jack's back out. Got the other parts in. We got another set of the 2-inch square rough country lights, which I don't know why they got a box like that. And we got these. Now we're going budget friendly. I don't know. I've had some of these lights before on some other vehicles. They seem to work all right. But these ain't the lights. These are brackets. Hoping they came. Yeah, they're countersunk. These will go right there. And the new lights we just got will go up here. You know, we already got a set of them lights in the bumper. And they're amber daytime, and then you got your fog. I'm gonna set them up on the same setup as these are. Cut the box open. I know you guys seen these before. And if you see my first video when we first got the Jeep, I put a set of these on. Comes with a harness, brackets, and all that. We don't use the harness. Just the pigtails. And they come with the covers. And there's the light. We're gonna mount these top of these new brackets that we got. I know we're doing a lot on the Jeep. It's because, guys, I haven't had this thing that long. We need to do some things to make it. We took it to Hatfield McCoy's once, and there's some things that, just in case we break down. I'm setting this up to where we can take long trail rides with it as a family, and I kind of bought it the way it was, except for the stuff I've already done to it. I really, not a flashy guy, so I really didn't like the color, but the old lady liked the color. It's like a yellow, but sometimes it looks green. And then you got the red wheels, which I might paint the red wheels, don't tell her. Alright guys, so here we are. Already did the other side. Now we're going to do this side. You got to take this panel out. I mean, I guess you don't really have to, but I am, because I want to feed the cord down here where you can't see it. So first you start with the Torx bit. Run it out, make sure you drop it on the ground, because I'm good about that. But that's what the old shirt pocket's for. Anyway, get the two top ones. If I remember right, these are T40s. I can't remember. Honestly, I just grabbed one out of the toolbox. It fit. I'm positive that it's a T40. Now, whoever had this before had something on here and either lost a bolt to this one or what, but they put an Allen in it. Oh my god, this is a hard one-handed, guys. And you just drop it right down in between the fender and the fender, or the fender and the flare. So pick that long dick of the law out, and then just pull out on this panel. Booyah. Booyah. And you just throw it up on the motor like that. But if you don't know, you just go in here, little bolt, lock washer, bracket, this bolts to that. I'll show you here in a minute. Guys, I'm one-handed bandit again today. Alright, so there we are. Now you can adjust it on that bracket, but we're gonna center it for now. Alright, now I got a mount. It's just lay that right there on that fresh paint. I don't like how that's on dangle right there. We are going to stick it under the edge of this. The other side of this bolt, right underneath this cow. About right there. Booyah. Stick this back in here, like so. Line it all up, like so. These god awful weird bolts in there. Right down through the new bracket. These brackets are pretty cheap. I think they're called night light brackets. They also make fog lights. I've used their fog lights on a lot of stuff, but over these brackets, we'll see how they hold up. They might start corroding all up because they are just aluminum, but we'll see. I'll show you guys how I'm gonna wire all these up to here in a little bit. Actually, it's probably gonna be a tomorrow job. Just want to get them on here, get them out my feet. Then what you want to do is just not even start these bolts. Just send her home. Give her 2 ugga-duggas. Be done with it. Let me go find my wrenches and tools. Yeah. Tell me, how was the scenery? I don't know, it's just houses and traffic and no trees, no woods, no mud holes, no standing on the back porch, drinking coffee in your underwear. Can't do that here, and I hate it. But anyway, well, I'm thinking, we'll talk about my problems. Let's see. We can get these where we want them. There I go, breathing heavy again. I don't know what that's all about. But I'll go ahead and just tilt them to the right just a hair. I didn't know what size to get, okay? I put it all in the pocket. The magic pocket. So, we're gonna go kind of straight with it. Get on there straight, nice and straight. We're gonna lock it down like Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, baddest cat in the whole damn town. Well, I don't even know if that's Charlie Brown. You guys have to tell me. Alright, we're gonna do the old swapperoo. Ooh. See if you guys can see me on that side. I was gonna put some Loctite on these, but they got lock washers on them. Still might have to. Way these Jeeps ride like a damn goat wagon. I don't care what you do to them. Still ride like a goat wagon. So what do you guys think? I think it turned out alright. They don't get close to the paint on the nut. You can get in and adjust it. Alright, we'll run this wire across, hook it up. I'm going to leave most of this wire left as I can on this harness the rough country sends with it. You never know. Might need it for a tractor, go-kart, maybe even tater. Don't know. I want to leave much of it as I can on that harness with the rough country sends because we don't use all of it. So we tie into the Jeep accessory wiring or auxiliary wiring, however you want to call it, say it, do it. Might unbolt this and those and get this wire in behind that. There's a harness here inside this, but we're not going to put it in there. We're going to unbolt this and them two over there and slide it under all the way through so it's up out of the way. Now put this back. Go ahead and go to the other side and put it behind there. Let's get some go-go juice. Just chug her down. That did it. Don't know for how long it did it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jiggy with it. Na, 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 na. Alright guys, I'm going to show you everything we've done up until the point you just seen a minute ago. Alright, I'll get you a little close up. Here's the oil catch can. That hole was already there. Nice bracket. I did put a little bit of blue Loctite on these screws so they don't fall off. One hose goes to the intake. The other hose goes around here, back to the PVC valve on the valve cover. And I routed our electrical lines up in behind these plastic clips all the way up through there to the other side. Now you do have to take these two loose. There's a little grommet that sets on, picks up and backs off, or sets off, where you can run your hose behind there, and it ain't going nowhere. But I left that off so we can run the rest of the wiring over here. Now, we got all of our wire ran over to this side. Our plugs plugged in here. Now, I already had this hood closed. I don't think they're in the way of anything. And I put a piece of tape here. Now, the reason why I was saying I wanted to leave as much of this wiring on here as I can, because this comes with the lights. Toggle switch, battery hookup, ground, all that. So we can utilize that on something else since we're not going to be using it. Because our connection point's right here to our auxiliaries for the Jeep. Now, these lights are going to be ran into the same two here because they're higher amperage wires. So we can run all four of these ones. Sorry, big ass spider on me. But anyway, so we can run all these four pods, the four 2-inch pods on the same auxiliary. And then when we put the bumper light in and the rear lights, we're going to put them on these other two. And then I'm going to relabel the auxiliary stuff in there so I know it's labeled. You can label it on the dash pad, but yeah. Anyway, so we're going to cut about right there. Right there. I'm going to tie all this together. But look at all this right here. That we got right there. That and the one I had left over from, which is here somewhere. I might have it wrapped up somewhere. That and what I had left over from the other two put in the bumper almost have enough wire, new wire already coated, insulated. Run all the way back for our flush mounts for reverse lights. Might have enough. Think with your dipstick, Jimmy. I mean, this stuff's expensive. Why waste it? All right, I'm gonna show you guys how I wired this. Probably not the right way, but it's the way we're doing it. We got our grounds here from the pillar lights and the bumper lights, which there's a ground post there, which is time to. Ran all the white to one, ran all the blue to one. This is all of our auxiliary switches. Now we won't be hooking nothing else up to these two wires. These two we will be eventually. Guys, I know this ain't the right way. This has already got a fuse and a relay on these, so we'll see how long it lasts. I mean, worst that could happen is we get corrosion and I have to change it. Alright, that's it. But there is no more wires going into these again, so figured I'd show you. Now there is a ground stud here. I'm gonna ground both of them to there. I'm gonna take the lighter to heat shrink these. I'm gonna tape it up nice and neat and put it back under here. Alright guys, got all the wiring zip tied and put up. We still got some more wiring to do in the cargo area. I'll show you that in a minute, but I'm gonna show you. We already had the ones in the bumper. I put them in a while back. We just put the pod ones on. Do the daytime running light first. Fog light. Alright guys, we got everything put back. I went out and got a new Wix filter and just put it in it for now. Because I say eventually we're gonna probably put a quart air intake in this. Just don't know yet. Because I'd like to have an enclosed one, just in case water and stuff gets up in there. But anyway, so intake tube's back on. Catch cans hooked up. Ran behind there. Our wires for our upper fog lights are back through there. And we got it all taped up and hooked up. Tucked nice in by the battery. We'll just go ahead and open it up and do it now before it rains. Because that's what I'm trying to rush for. Is it's supposed to storm and rain. I can't get this in the garage right now. But there's a aftermarket light someone put on this that was here, and they cut the wires off, which I don't understand why they did. Or they cut it thinking they was gonna take the light and they didn't. I don't know. I got it in there. I soldered and extended the wires, but it had a downward light and a cargo light, and then a flashing amber light just in case you broke down or something. Or you had the hatch up so people could see it. So we got to run down this channel all the way down through here, drop it down in through this grommet, and I'm gonna tie it into the back side of this for power and ground. And then it has buttons on it to where I'll show you. I'll get it pulled around here. But first we're gonna put the jack back in. With it being cold the other day when I painted these, it's not the greatest. So eventually we might have to take some of this stuff back off and paint it. But here's our brackets. Even painted the bolts. Get these bolted right in the factory spots. I think these are 13, I can't remember. If you guys see my belly, don't worry about it. It's just a belly. That's my 24 pack. I know it's kind of hard to see what I was doing in there, but anyway, anywho, yeah, this is what we got. Turned out pretty good. I built these brackets, factory holes. I welded the stud to that bracket. I already had this wing nut in this little C-channel. And same here, bracket, C-channel, wing nut. And guys, this thing, ain't going nowhere. We already don't hear this rattle. There's no way around that. I did put some rubber in the foot plate and put the pin back in, so it don't really move. It does, but it ain't gonna rattle like it was. As you can see, we got some lights for the buttons illuminated. Now this one is red, but it's got a flashing light in it, which I'm assuming that's like if you have an issue or if you just got the tailgate open. But anyway, turn that off and you got two lights. One on the bottom, it looks like it's flashing, but it's not. You got one on the bottom, one shining back into the cargo. Now this was already on here. It's just that someone came up and cut the wires, because I think they just had it ran down and plugged into that. But I'm not sure. I think they was thinking about taking it when they traded Jeep in, but they didn't. But now we got light back here. There was no light back here at all. Utilize what you got. So that's what we did. Guys, sorry we didn't do a whole lot with Tater. I had to do this stuff and I had to get you some kind of content out, so we'll be having some Jeep videos here and there, but I did get the door hinge repair kits. That's what you'll see next week, is us fixing the doors, getting the doors on, making sure we need it, and putting the newer tires on, the smaller tires on. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Guys, if you want to see more of the Jeep stuff, which I call this Woodstock just because of the color of it. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Every one of you. Appreciate you. Later.